We're going to be shooting and comparing a couple of pistol drills today. These are slow fire, accuracy-based drills. One is called the 6 squares. It's kind of an older drill that the drill of the month guys have been doing for a long time. And the other one is the newer FSP 5 drill. It's good for everybody to shoot these slow fire drills periodically. It's just sort of a good fundamental skill builder. And also it slows you down a little bit. A lot of the times we are focused on doing these high round count drills. You know, we're chasing draw splits, shot splits, reload splits. We're going really fast. And a lot of the times the accuracy on those drills becomes secondary to the speed, the speed of the draw, the manipulations of the gun. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit here. One of the drills we're shooting is the older 6 squares drill. It's one that we've been doing for a pretty long time. And then the other one is the FSP 5 drill, which is kind of an evolutionary take on the 6 squares. I think it's an improvement. It's probably the one you should focus on shooting more. Another thing that's really pretty important about these slow fire drills is that it gives people who are in a non-permissive range environment something to do. I talk about something like the test being a relatively low-speed drill. Doesn't involve drawing from the holster, it doesn't involve any reloads or movement, and it's cadence fire. It's about 1 shot per second, so it shouldn't get you in trouble at a lot of ranges. Some people have said, actually, yes, it will get you in trouble. It's not 1 shot a second, it's 1 shot every 3 seconds. Some kind of heinous FUD rules like that. So these slow fire drills, 6 squares or 5 which I think is going to be the one I'll recommend more. You should be able to shoot them anywhere. First up is the 6 squares drill. It is 6 1-inch squares printed on a normal 8.5 by 11 piece of printer paper. The first square, you fire 4 shots two-handed. The second square is 2 shots strong hand only. The last square is 2 shots weak hand only. You shoot that at 3 yards on the top row, then back it up to 5 yards for the bottom row. The 5 drill is 15 circles printed again on 8.5 by 11 paper. As the name implies, the entire drill is shot from 5 yards. You start with 5 shots, weak hand only, to the left column, which is the largest circles. Then you take 5 shots, strong hand only, at the middle column of circles, which are the medium circles. And you end with 5 shots of freestyle, or most likely two-handed shooting, to the third column, which is the smallest circles. Check out the Dropbox link in the video description for printable targets and target information. The reason I prefer the 5 drill to the 6 squares is that it's just a little bit easier to shoot. You don't have to move between the 3 and the 6 yard. Shoot the whole thing from 5 yards. Each circle has its own score, just 1 shot per circle. It's very easy to score. It basically trains all the same stuff, but just it's in a cleaner way. So it's kind of an updated, improved version of the 6 squares. Also, I've heard some people say that they have a minimum range requirement at wherever they're shooting. So maybe they can't actually shoot at 3 yards. That's just considered too close. So if 5 yards your minimum, 5 totally fine for you. 6 squares, you can't shoot it. So we're going to go ahead and start with the 6 squares. Shoot that one with Glock 19, and we're going to shoot another 5. I've shot some other 5.5s. I'll roll in footage of that as well, and we'll just see how we do. The other thing I like about 5 from a YouTube standpoint is that it's easier to film. I don't have to move the camera and get my focus and everything. So starting here at our 3 yard, I'm going to do 4 shots, freestyle, so two-handed, to the upper left-hand rectangle. Switch over to strong hand only for the top middle rectangle. Square, actually. It's not the 6 rectangles drill. And now to weak hand only for the last 2. Okay, those are all in. We're going to back it up to 6 yards and shoot the lower row. I'm not going to move the camera. I'm probably really far away. I'm probably not in focus anymore. But I don't care. Six o'clock hold becomes very important once we step it back to 6 yards. I can definitely get away with a dead hold on the top row. Bottom row is pushing it. I gotta reload. Alright, so we are on to the bottom middle square. Back to strong hand only. And now, bottom right square, weak hand only. Glad you guys are hopefully too far away to see how badly I'm shaking on those weekend only shots. But we managed to clean that one. Glock 19, let's take a look at it. Let me just pick you guys up here. Whoop. Oh. Yeah, there you are. Okay. 6 squares drill, Glock 19. So, 4, 2, 2. That is actually 2. I was pretty proud of that. 4, 2, and 2. We are at 16 out of 16. Let's go ahead and swap this up for a 5 at 5 and shoot one more time. Alright, I've switched the camera to the other side because we firmly believe in high production values here. Got a 5 at 5 target up. We're going to basically shoot the exact same thing. Other consideration with the 5 at 5 is that you start weak hand, go to strong hand, finish with 2 hands. So, you know, and that way it could be a little bit of a morale boost when you actually start to make some hits towards the end. The rub being that the circles get smaller each time. So, here we go. See if I can clean this like last time. Ooh, I don't know if that one counts. Strong hand only. Freestyle. That's low. That's another one. That's low. Borderline, but probably just off. Let's take a gander. So follow up that 6 squares performance with a pretty underwhelming 5 at 5 performance. This one did actually break the line, but just fucking barely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one I'm not going to give myself. 11, 12, 13. Not giving myself that one either. So 13 out of 15. An important consideration when shooting either of these drills is that you need to know your holdovers for the distance that you're shooting. I've mostly been shooting these with a Glock 19. If I shoot at 3 yards on the 6 squares drill, I can usually get away with a combat hold or a dead hold, which is the sights covering up the target. At 6 yards, however, I have to use a 6 o'clock hold, so sights just below the target in order to make sure that I'm going to be in the very center of the target square. And the same holds true for the 5 at 5. If you're sure of your sight alignment, it gives you the maximum amount of fudge room to make mistakes in your trigger pulls. If I can shoot this stuff with a Glock 19 and irons, you guys can probably do a lot better. So, go ahead and give it a shot. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know what you think of the drills. The video is pretty much over now, but if you'd like, you can watch this earlier attempt of me shooting the 5 at 5 with the Glock 19. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Okay, going to shoot the FSP 5 at 5 drill. Shot at 5 yards. There are 3 strings of fire. First is 5 shots to the 5 large circles, weak hand only. Then 5 shots to the 5 medium circles, strong hand only. Then 5 shots to the 5 tiny circles, freestyle, so two-handed. Alright, here we go. gander. So here we have FSP 5 at 5 with Glock 19. I think all of those count. Some of them are just barely in, but that's still it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 out of 15 G19.